Welcome everybody. Good afternoon. It's 1:12 p.m. in my side right now, and I also want to congratulate guys that joined this meeting today. This is a very rare opportunity. Information is power. Before you even need money, you need the right information when you want to pursue whatever you want to pursue, your career, your ambition in life. You need the right information. I'm glad you are here today because that's the first part. If you don't have an information, if you don't have the right information, you're just going to be going in circles. As a professional, I work hard to get all this information, a lot of trial and error with a lot of money. But right now that I have it, I don't want people coming behind to make lots of mistakes. It makes your life much more easier. It makes you a better person. All right, so today we're talking about pathways to migration. I'm sure migration primarily for professionals is for you to get a better life, improve your economic power, and further your ambition. As we all know, everybody you want a better life for yourself. So we're going to be talking about the migration via the school and via the professional route. So today I'll be talking about migration via the professional route as a nurse. So if you are a nurse in this space, grab your pen, try and get something to write down information. So I'm going to start with this slide. I just want you to answer these questions within your mind. Question number 1 says, will you like to advance your career and chances in life? Question number 2 says, will you like to practice in the best healthcare settings? Question number 3 says, will you like to practice with more autonomy? So today, I'm going to be talking about the nursing route. And also on this slide, I just want you to know that nothing in life comes easy. There's always a price for whatever good you see. All right, so now we're diving in. This is for nurses. The starting salary for a nurse that just graduated 1 year post-graduation in Nigeria, it's around 250. Some people don't even get up to that, 250,000. Some people earn as low as 45,000, 50,000, 60,000. I'm sure you can see how ridiculous that is. That's a salary. So if you're starting with 250,000 and you're going to spend 35 years of your life, at the end of the day, maybe you're going to earn maximum, maybe you earn 1 million monthly when you become a director. An average salary of a nurse in the United States, minimum $6,000 per month, $6,000 per month. That's an average salary of a nurse that just finished nursing school. You have multiple benefits, better education for your kids. We can keep talking about the benefits. So think about this figure for a minute. Why won't I do anything within my reach to change my trajectory in life? It's an admonition. With this information you're having, so the choice today is essentially yours. You are the architect of your future. All right, so I'm just going to talk about the overview of the nursing profession in the United States real quick. So nursing is the largest healthcare profession in the United States with approximately 4.7 million registered nurses in the whole United States. The median age of an RN is 46. Over a quarter plan to leave or retire within the next 5 years. The RN population is predominantly white, Caucasian 80%, with smaller percentages of Asian 7.4%, Black African, Black American 6.3%, Hispanic 6.9%. So that's about that. The percentage of men in nursing has increased from 9.4% to 11.2% between 2020 and 2022, meaning that more men are coming into nursing. So the government projects a creation of over 203,000 jobs for RNs annually. So think about this figure. Just telling you that there are opportunities. The average salary of 90,000 per year, and most works in general medical surgical hospitals with some other specialties. So I want to emphasize on the importance of internationally trained nurses in the United States. So folks that listen to me, the United States needs you. It's up to you. So international trained nurses are essential to the healthcare workforce, significantly impacting the health and well-being of millions of Americans in various settings, including hospitals, nursing home, and home health services. However, the profession is facing a shortage of nurses, a challenge that has worsened due to COVID-19 pandemic and is projected to continue as the population age 65, older grows, increasing. So this has led to increased healthcare demands. So essentially, to address these shortages, the immigrant workers plays a crucial role. As of 2022, approximately 500,000 immigrant nurses represent about 1 in 6 of nearly 3.2 million RN in the US. So despite this, immigration remains a contentious political issue. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to tell you is, all I see here is opportunities for you to come to the United States. So these are just much more of statistics. So I'm just going to go to the next slide. So I want you to pay attention at this point. There are 50 states board of nursing in the United States. So each state has a board of nursing. So essentially we have 50 states in America. So one of each state has a single board of nursing. So making 50 board of nursing. Additionally, there are also boards of nursing in the US territory, such as Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands. So each board is responsible for regulating nursing practices and ensuring nursing meets their required standard for licensure in their respective states. So for the purpose of immigration of international trainers from Africa, from Nigeria, from wherever you're listening from. So the most favorable states to use for your registration are Texas Board of Nursing, New York Board of Nursing, and New Mexico Board of Nursing. So far, so good. These are the 3 states that if you're coming from outside the United States, you want to go through these 3 states. So now we're going to talk about eligibility. How do you know if you're eligible to start this process? So we're going to talk about the educational qualification, which is the secondary school diploma, WAEC, NECO, GC, and also your diplomas. So diplomas is just like a terminology we use to describe all certificates here in the American language. So which includes if you are a graduate of School of Nursing, if you are a graduate of university, if you have your BSN, MSN, whatever you have, those are your diplomas. So the second part is the professional qualification, your professional licenses, RN, RM, RAN, whatever R you have, these are one of your professional qualifications that you needed. And a minimum of 2 years of experience in the clinical setting. A minimum of 2 years experience in the clinical setting. That's very paramount, please, folks. So we're going to dive into the next stage after determining your eligibility. So credential evaluation is the first thing you do by licensed authority. So our agency here at MAG, we recommend CGFNS. There are other agencies that like Joseph Slaney, West, we have a lot. But we recommend CGFNS because CGFNS is the only body recognized by the immigration, by the USCIS in the United States. So when you go through other agencies, you might have to go back to CGFNS at the end of the day. So register with your board of nursing of choice. Remember, I told you that we recommend 3 for you. Register with your nursing board of choice, complete the requirements, which may include fingerprinting, jurisprudence exam, additional credentialing in some cases. Your board will issue you an authorization to test, popularly known as ATT, for you to proceed with your NCLEX exam, registration and all that. Exam centers are worldwide. Our MAG will assist you with the complexities of getting your visiting visa for examination purpose. So at this stage, one of the things we offer is we don't want to, because NCLEX is an exam where you invest a lot of money and you don't want your money to go down the drain. So after passing your NCLEX, apply for your English proficiency test, English language, which could be IELTS, TOEFL, OET, and get your visa screen certificate. So the next slide is talking about after you've passed your NCLEX, post petitioning stage. So this is just talking about what is next. So at this point, you're going to be talking about getting your EB3 or H1B. But our agency, we're focusing more on EB3. And why you're getting EB3 is because nursing has been classified under what you call Schedule A occupation. You will be able to get all these things at the end of this space. So read more. Schedule A profession, like shortage profession. So nursing is under one of those occupations. So you don't have to do labor certification. Once you pass your NCLEX, we dive into filing for you straight away. It's easy as a pizza. All right. So what do we offer you at Mark Careers? We have first-hand experience with this journey. I myself, I did this journey. We have discounted prices on our pre-NCLEX services, and we have financing opportunities post-NCLEX, even though terms, conditions, and criteria applies to all these opportunities. For our pre-NCLEX discounted rates, we're offering 50% of our consultation fee. For your CGFNS credentialing, we're giving you 20% discount. I'm sure you all know the prices. For your nursing board application, we're giving you 20% discount. For your fingerprinting process, we're giving you 5% discount. And for your post-NCLEX, we are offering financing opportunity for you to make life easier for you. So I'm going to quickly talk about the post, when you land into the United States, even if you are coming from another country, UK, coming from Nigeria, this is a new land where things are done differently. You have to go through adaptation and assimilation. So we came up with a program, Mark University. That's when you land into the United States. It's going to be like a 6 weeks program where you're going to be taught the basic things you need to have before you dive into the clinical situation, because you don't want to go in for failure. We want to set you up for success at the end of the day. Yeah. So internationally, nurses that have successfully completed their NCLEX, these are the ones that qualify for this post NCLEX phase. Thank you for listening. I'll be here to take your questions.
When you say you're handling visa for the exams we're going to write, are you saying you're also the agency is going to pay for them, or you help us get these visas? I don't really understand that.
What we're offering here is we're offering discounted rate for the pre-NCLEX phase of the pre-NCLEX, which includes our consultation fee. That's number one. The CGFNS credentialing, we're offering 20% discount. The nursing board, we're offering 20% discount. And the fingerprinting process, we're offering 5% discount. So that's just the discount we're offering. So as for the visiting visa, it's going to be solely your responsibility financially, but we are going to give you the right things to do.
And for me, I'm just going to start my internship. And I intend to start the whole processing, inshallah, immediately after the internship or almost at the end. Would you advise me to go ahead? Because I heard you mention you have to have 2 years you have to have 2 years clinical experience. And if we're to use post-school, internship is just like a year. So would you advise me to start or hold on?
Well, first of all, your internship, 1 year internship counts towards your that clinical experience. And if you are also going to go for NYSC, that's another 1 year. So my advice is that immediately after you start your internship, you kickstart the process.
So one of the messages, does NCLEX expire?
NCLEX does not expire. Once you pass it, you pass it for life.
My first question is for Mr. Fatai. Earlier during your presentation, you said the best international board for the best boards, rather, like state boards for international trained nurses are 3 in the US: the Texas Board of Nursing, New York, and New Mexico. Is there a reason for those 3? Is there so many immigrants there and think those are favorable to us, or there's more to it?
Essentially, because this 3 Board of Nursing, they don't require you to pass your high LTS exam before you could write the NCLEX. That's one of the main reasons. That's number one. Also, they don't require you to have a social security number. And also, number 3 is just that process is just very seamless, less bureaucracy. So just imagine if you're applying from outside the country. So that's just the main reason why we recommend these 3 states for you.
So for the NCLEX, would you be providing classes, not online classes now, like physical classes? because I'm currently studying on my own and it's not exactly easy. So I want to know if there are options for physical classes. That's one question. And are you like an agency? Because you mentioned giving out some money while doing the NCLEX and after the NCLEX. Then that's the second question. And the adjustment of status, if I decide to go on like a student's visa, because I have just my RN certificate, if I decide to do my BSN, is it possible for me to have like the immigrant's visa while I'm done with my BSN and then I'm just trying to work as a nurse now in the US? How easy would the adjustment visa be? Then while processing, like after writing my NCLEX here in Nigeria and then pass and everything, while doing the process with like maybe an agent waiting to get the permanent stuff, can I go on a visiting visa and look for a job myself? Is that possible?
Of course, we are an agency. We assist people on all these things. But for right now, like we already mentioned, we are just we're offering discounts on the pre-NCLEX stage, which is about 50%. I said 20% on the CGN fairness fee, 20% on the nursing board, 5% on the fingerprint application. So that's just for the people that, for the first 20 that registered with us, that passed our criteria. And also about the NCLEX preparation, we are not offering any physical classes, but we offer something like virtual classes. Yeah, I don't know if you understand what I mean. Virtual classes where we are going to put you in groups with fellow colleagues that are about to write the exam. Because one thing about NCLEX is that the group therapy works very well. We put you in a group and we go over all these questions one after the other with you, even while we are reading. That makes the understanding much more easier. That's about that. It's a virtual class, not a physical class. And also about the adjustment of status. If you decide to move to the United States via the student route, as long as you pass your NCLEX, that's the condition attached to it. As long as you pass NCLEX within so let's say you come in through the student route, you're going to start at the second year. If you are able to pass within, let's say, the first 18 months of starting your school, but don't forget, if you are coming through student visa, you have to still stay in status as a student. You have to be in status, you have to continue your school. So if you now attempt to write your exam while in school and you pass, at that point, you have an option to do what we call adjustment of status. You're still going to have to go through the process, but it is realistic, it is possible. People have done it previously. But it's just like the only difference is that you are doing it while in the United States. And don't forget, you have to still be in status while you are doing your adjustment of status. You have to be in status till a particular stage when they approve your petition. So let's say you submit your application, you pass your NCLEX today, you submit your application this month. You still have to stay. You don't just have to quit school like that. You have to stay in school for 6 months while that application is in process.
Because like I said, I have just my RN certificate, right? So are there physical classes in US for RN to BSN? And can I know an estimate of the total cost?
You have to have the US license already. That means you have to pass NCLEX before you can do the RN to BSN in 18 months. I hope you get that difference. Without that, if you want to do that, you have to go through the undergraduate road, just like you're starting from 100 level. So I'm just going to talk about the retrogression thing. The simple question to that is, first of all, in this process, you have things that are in your control and you have things that are beyond your control. So pre-NCLEX is within your control. Retrogression is not within your control, in the sense that retrogression is not something that lasts forever. It's something that happens in between all these processes, and at the end of the day, it becomes current. Right now, I think we are for EB3. We are December 2022. That's for the priority date. So, there is really nobody that has any control over the retrogression. But what I tell people is, do the things in your control. Progression is not going to last forever. If you are lucky enough, already start your process. If they lift the ban on retrogression, which I know they're going to, lift soon, if you pass your NCLEX today and you fall in that category when they lift the retrogression, your process will be as fast as 14 months, So I tell people that you have to look beyond all these goals and look at the things you can control, because at the end of the day, you will forget about all this, waiting period. I know sometimes waiting is not easy, but you have to think about the end game. You are getting a green card. Yeah, it takes a process. So, we don't really have control over retrogression. And for a registered nurse, I'm seriously going to make sure I recommend you going through the EB3 visa. H1B, I put you, in a tight corner, and even H1B is like a lottery. It's not 100% sure, but even if you get through the H1B, you are going to be tied to your employer, and you literally don't want that as a registered nurse, because at that point you will not be at your message as your employer. If you are unlucky and you find a very wicked employer, you have to dance to the tune of the employer. But with your green card, you can move anywhere you like. I guess I'll just stop at that.